good morning, and happy Sunday to you. And welcome to Transforming Earth Together, where we explore practical, mystical teachings and guidance. I am Dr. Karina Felix. This broadcast dives into various modalities that enhances our spiritual journey, including philosophy, psychology, parapsychology, quantum physics, the religions of the world, and the universal laws. And it aims to discover and practice the best approaches for continuous growth and expansion on our individual journeys, while also understanding how our personal choices and decisions impact the collective consciousness. As a metaphysician, ordained minister, and earth spiritual guide, my journey is rooted in a deep desire to help others unlock their highest potential and connect with their greatest consciousness. Through my own spiritual experiences and evolution, have I've grown over the years in my spiritual teachings, I get this opportunity to share practical mystical teachings and guidance designed to support your spiritual growth. By exploring diverse modalities, we transform and align with our true selves. The In this broadcast, it isn't just about individual expansion. It's also about understanding how our personal decisions and spiritual choices contributes to the collective consciousness. And together we can create a more harmonious and enlightenment world, one step at a time. But before we get into that, I want us to just sync up our energies, come to a place of calm and rest. And I am going to say a prayer treatment from my prayer treatment book for health, wealth, peace, and joy. A metaphysical prayer approach to receiving your blessings. And today I am choosing the prayer treatment for positive mental attitude. And let me get my glasses on because this girl needs her glasses. So, your prosperity, abundance, and well being are your birthright, and you are deserving of receiving all the riches, happiness, and joy that is actualizing in your presence. This prayer treatment will guide you into knowing and accepting without a doubt that you are deserving of all your wishes, dreams, and desires. So I want you to get comfortable. Take this moment just for yourself. This is your own private moment for inner healing, body, mind, spirit. If you're sitting, please put your feet on the floor. You could cross your legs if you want to, hands open to receive your blessings. And you may be lying down too. So lie down, cross your legs, put one hand in your heart chakra, the other one down here so you can connect all the energies together. Let's take a nice, deep, slow breath and let it go and get comfortable. And let's start. I redirect my focus away from the outer world and turn my attention to the God power presence that dwells within me, bringing peace, harmony, and ease into my daily life. Together, we are one mind, one body, one soul, one spirit. With the power and presence of God within me, I declare that I am already healthy, I think positively each day, allowing the flow of energy and welcoming all levels of richness and comfort that seeks to move through my life. My mind is open and receptive to receiving intuitive guidance from the universal intelligence so that I may enjoy mind, body, and soul. I surrender all control of my ego mind and allow the awakened light source to fill me with confidence, certainty, and satisfaction. With a proper conscious mental attitude, I unblock any and all words, thoughts, and feelings that are not conducive to my prosperity and abundance. I strengthen my mind through daily meditation and affirmations so that I may always see the good in others and myself. I am self-confident as I allow the positive power of my universal God mind to govern all my actions. Thanks, I bless and invoke projects and payments that exponentially increase the flow of money that serves my mind, body, soul, and spirit are open to control in everything I do, say, or think. My words are a gift of freedom, and I use them positively so that they may continue to bless and prosper me. I am aware of my gifts and make daily efforts to keep them cultivated at an elevated level. Luminous, radiant light radiates throughout my entire body, satisfying my body, mind, and soul with positive, high vibrating frequencies. As I arrive at peace within myself, I rest assured that you control my life now and eternally. For this, I give thanks. Let it be so, and so it is. Good morning, and welcome again. Today, I am going to delve into an interesting passage that I read this week. And every week, I want to bring something that can help you on your spiritual journey. And I cut this from this book, and it's called Living with the Himalayan Masters. And it's the story of Swami Rama, who was taken as a young kid to live into the mountains and trained to become a sage, to become a swami, to become a guru in the mountains. And he documented his stories. And the most amazing, mind blowing, because I can't even think of another word, what we would call magic tricks, whatever that is. But it shows you how their years of meditating has increased their ability to actually create amazing miracles using their mind. It's all about mind mastery. So, in this one paragraph that I'm going to share and break it apart and really get into it, um, Swami Rama goes to his master teacher and asks him a very crucial question, and the question was, what is the highest state of enlightenment? So the answer was, and I'll share it here with you. When the senses are well controlled and withdrawn from contact with the objects of the world, then sense perceptions no longer create images in the mind. The mind is then trained in one pointedness. When the mind no longer recalls thought patterns from the unconscious, a balanced state of mind leads to a higher state of consciousness. A perfect state of serenity established in sattva is the highest state of enlightenment. And then it goes on, the practice of meditation and non-attachment are the two keynotes. A very firm conviction is essential for establishing a definite philosophy of life. Intellect intervenes and blind emotion misguides. Though both are great powers, they should be known first, analyzed, and then directed towards the source of intuition. Intuition is the only source of true knowledge. All this, whatever you see in the world, is unreal because of its constantly changing nature. Reality is hidden beneath all these changes. So I want to take this apart piece by piece because just understanding this one paragraph is so in depth. It gives so much meaning. It is, let's just get into it. So it says, when the senses are well controlled and withdrawn from contact with the objects of the world, then sense perceptions no longer create images in the mind. So when he says, when our senses, referring to our emotions, right, are well controlled, meaning we are aware of how we are affected by the external world around us and withdrawn from contact with the objects of the world. Here, we are reframing from reacting to everything that happens around us. Then the sense perception no longer create image in the mind. Then we are free to transform. We let go of our old beliefs and habits. That is how we change. Then he says, the mind is then trained in one pointedness. This is when you learn to focus inwards and not be fooled by the illusion of the outside world. When the mind no longer recalls thought patterns from the unconscious, a balanced state of mind leads to a higher state of consciousness. So when your conscious, unconscious, and subconscious mind breaks away from past habits and patterns, we open a new space to achieve a higher level of consciousness. We remove the limitations that have kept us stuck for way too long. They have created mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual imbalance in our life. When we remove those limitations, being attached to our past habits, we cannot get to a life of balance. A perfect state of serenity established in sattva is the highest state of enlightenment. Sattva, the meaning for sattva is the quality of goodness, purity, positivity, truth, serenity. So when you reach this place of inner serenity, inner truth, inner peacefulness, inner goodness, you have achieved the highest state of enlightenment. It becomes your new state of mind and being. The practice of meditation and non attachment are the two keynotes. These are two extremely vital practices for helping you reach a higher level of self realization and awareness. Ongoing meditation and non attachment. Non attachment means not being attached to anything, and not just things and stuff, such as physical possessions, but also your emotional and mental attachments. A very firm conviction is essential for establishing a definite philosophy of life. A firm conviction is the state of mind of a person who is sure that he or she believes or says is true without a doubt. This becomes your new way of life without being concerned with others' opinions or judgment. Intellect intervenes and blind emotion misguides. This I thought was excellent because we seek so much knowledge and so much information. So when you step away from the intellect and stop reacting to your emotions, you open up the space for magic, faith, trust, possibilities. Basing your knowledge on just physical proof intervenes, meaning it becomes a distraction from achieving higher levels of knowing. And blind emotions refers to how easily we allow our emotions to control our life, our feelings, our moods, which may affect our whole day, maybe even into the week, probably even sometimes an entire life, that we're stuck with certain emotion that we don't know how to let go of them. Though both are great powers, they should be known first. See what he said? They should be known first, analyzed, and then directed towards the source of intuition. So, yes, our emotions are very important, and our intellectual knowledge is also very important. Acknowledging, right, that knowledge as well as the awareness of our knowledge and emotion are important, but they are limited. They limit us and they keep us in this little box, right? Once you have acquired the necessary information and knowledge, then we need to put them into action. We need to apply them into our life. It's one thing having the knowledge and knowing what you should do. And I just had this conversation with my girlfriend. We know, we have the knowledge, we know what it takes, we know what we're supposed to do, but we don't always do it. We don't actually apply it because that means change. It's a big change. It's a lot of change, right? So we do that by trusting the process and believing that your intuition will guide you. If we just let our intuition guide us, it will take us to where we actually want to be and would stop us from stopping ourselves because that's what we do. We stop ourselves from moving in the direction we want to move into. Intuition is the only source of true knowledge. And true knowledge comes to us when we learn to be still, to go within a transcendental meditation, and receive messages directly from Source. This is the depth of the oneness with all. And in that space, you are open to receive the messages and wisdom that can only be attained through intuition, knowingness. It's not something you can learn from a book, it's from experience, it's from that higher connection with your higher self. We need to learn to trust our intuition. The more you listen, the more you follow, the more you, the faster things happen for you. The synchronicities start falling in place faster. If you heard my last week's um, teaching, I talked about my own personal uh, experience with my spirit guide or my guardian angel, and how I learned to listen, and when I didn't listen, how I got into trouble, and how I became an obedient student. And being that obedient student for such a long time, eventually the intuition is so fast, you start manifesting like instant, like it happens instant. The waiting period gets shorter and shorter because you're trusting the process and you're not confusing the source with the information it's trying to send to you. All this, whatever you see in the world, is unreal because of its constantly changing nature. So, in this context, the sage is pointing out that what we believe to be our reality is really an illusion of our outer perception. It changes every time we change our minds, or our moods, or our outlook, or our perspective. Every time we change, our reality around us also changes. This is why they call it, Maya. They call it an illusion. It's not true what we see out there. It's what our mind creates. It's what we create to keep us safe in what we think it's our safe space. And our mind reminds us you're safe because this is what your perception is. But you also know we all have our own perception and we all see things very differently. And then he says, reality is hidden behind all these changes. So when you can look beyond the physical world that surrounds us, we get to see the vastness of the universe and our connectedness to it. This opened up possibilities beyond your own imagination. So I just, I saw that passage and I thought, it's those few sentences, it's like not even two paragraphs, but it's so deep. And I just thought, wow, okay. Um, the thing it stepped on, like the part I really want to get into is that non-attachment sounds easy, and I'm here to tell you it's not. And I've been practicing non-attachment for a long time. And the interesting thing about non-attachment is that we sometimes don't even realize um, where we are. So it's like my house, my car, my. We're so used to saying my that we don't put time anymore into realizing that everything's energy, right? We already know everything is energy. The desk, the computer, everything is energy. And we all come from that one space. I love to watch Big Bang Theory, and Sheldon has always been trying to find out string theory. And string theory is pretty much all is one and one is all. It's really the subconscious connection. They're looking for a physical line, which we're never going to find. And it's like radio waves. So we know right here there's waves, there's stuff. This is really not empty. This is all energy. We can't physically see it, but we know it's there. And this is the same thing with our connection with everything when you learn to appreciate stuff. So in this, when I came across the passage in a favorite book, like I said, um, I wanted to do an overall review of what that means and our how meditation and non-attachment creates this sense of freedom within you. So we first acquire that knowledge, books, studies, workshops. Then we need to take that now and use it in our life, on everyday life. And when I say non attachment, I'm talking about non attachment to your emotion, non attachment to things, non attachments to expectations, and non attachment to any end result of anything. Because when you are expecting an end result, because I want it to be like this and it doesn't work out the way you want it, you're going to be disappointed, sad, upset, depressed, because you didn't get that. And this is where that blind emotion comes from. The blind emotion is but I asked for this and I didn't get what I wanted. But if we have no attachment to our emotions, then we're okay, right? Accepting things as it is. Again, easier said than done, right? When we understand that God already knows what we have need of, and therefore, whatever comes to us, we should accept it and be grateful and appreciative. And it's that at that point of, it is at that point of non attachment to anything and any outcome that allows you to awaken to inner dimensions. And also, it signifies peace and ease within yourself because you are no longer controlled by your emotion. When you are not just controlled by your emotion, then that very, you know, triggers, it doesn't trigger you anymore. And you can stay in a place of peace and ease forever. So controlling our emotions doesn't only mean, oh, I have to be happy and I got to be laughing and I got to be joyous. It's not that kind of happiness I'm referring to because I believe our journey isn't really about being happy. And I think the word happy, I think the word happiness is a little bit misguided now. I think we've seen it in a different light. So I'm going to use the word bliss. The reason I'm using the word bliss is because bliss is one of the highest level of positive energy frequency that exists. But it's not a feeling of, oh, I'm happy and everything, the world is great. No, it's that moment of really complete non attachment, not to emotion. So there's no good and there's no bad. There's no sad, there's no happy. There's nothing. You're in this space, almost like this vast emptiness of just gratitude, appreciation, love, love, pure, pure love. And in that space, nothing bothers you. So when we're like think positive and be happy and it's beyond that. It's a little bit more than just I'll put on a funny show and I'm going to laugh, and that means I'm happy and I'm a good place, or I'm joking. It's a place of inner peace and calmness. And when you are in that space, I can't even, I just did a session this week with a group, and we had to go into this deep meditation. And it was the most interesting moment I had, because it was a guided meditation, and we had to go through the tunnels and all of that. And we got out to this space. Well, when I got into this space where I was going, I was in a vast universe. It was empty. There was no stars, no moon, no planets, no earth. It wasn't dark, but it wasn't light. And yet I could feel the presence of those around me. And because I've been meditating for so many years and having that connection with my higher self for such a long time, I realized it was just energy. We were all energy. I wasn't there as me. I did not have my body. It was just energy, pure energy. Just, and it was a sense of quiet, calm, stillness, peace. Oof, such a great feeling. And the message to me was, you already know. You already know what it's like to be on the other side. We've all been on the other side. This part, this is the temporary part. That's eternity. That's forever. This is where our soul lives. We already know this. We get scared with death and the separation, but it's only separation of the body. So when the meditation was over and they're calling us back, it's time to come back, I realized that I had to step back into my body. So I went from this spirit energy space and I stepped back into my body, and it felt so heavy. And I thought, oh my goodness, I just left my body. And I came back and I felt the body, the ego, the fears, all of that was right here again. And the message was, you're already dead. Why are you worrying? And I thought, that's interesting. But it was quite an experience to see the difference of what we consider to be happiness and what this space is, that space of pure love. No expectations, no outcome. You don't even ask for anything. Like there's nothing you want or need at that moment. So it's like, you know, I can't even explain it. It's one of those things, I guess you gotta like just experience it. So intuition is, achieved when you learn to quiet your mind, go within, deep, deep meditation, and allow Source to guide us in our spiritual journey. If you are not practicing daily meditation, I recommend you start maybe with just 10 minutes. And sometimes I do what we call kind of a hypnotic meditation. So as you lay there and you start thinking of each part of your body. So think about your toes and the ball of your feet and your ankle. And you go, my feet are calm, they're relaxed, they're heavy, they're at ease. And then you go to my calves. So by focusing on your body piece by piece, paying attention to your breath, you are blocking the outside world out as much as possible. And you work up and you relax your whole body, sending blessings to yourselves, to your body, to your mind. all to the top of your head. Relax, peace, my eyes, my eyes. Probably you have 10 minutes just there already. So, but you just go through that moment just to block the outside world out and have peace within and be quiet for the moment. And in the beginning, you'll have images and the chatter and all of that will come, and that's okay. I usually just say, thank you for the message. Thank you for the visit. I release you. We'll talk later. I need a moment, and keep bringing your mind back as you get better and better. 10 minutes, 15 minutes. You keep increasing and keep increasing, and you would be surprised how different your days will turn out. You'll be surprised how different your life start to change. Every time you meditate and you come out of a deep meditation, you are transformed. The cells in your body are transformed. You may not see it right away, you may not feel it right away, but the transformation is happening slowly, step by step. And sometimes you won't even notice it, but other people will see it in you. There might be comments like, what are you doing different? Or, are you getting more rest? Or, what's different about you? And maybe you won't notice it right away, but eventually you will see the outcome and you will see things happening. You see time slows down. You see anything you ask for shows up. You start seeing the synchronicities in life. It is kind of a fun journey to be on, really. So, like I said, it takes time to build on your meditation hours, but it is in that space that you start to really, really connect with your higher self, meaning your intuition. And this is when it starts to become easier and easier to ask for what you want to manifest in your reality. It is through this process. And I will break it down even more in another series. But I would like you to think about attachments. What is attachments? I think one of my biggest attachment at the end was my own kids. I was attached to my kids. I was a drone mom. They used to call us helicopter moms. We're drone moms now. But, I was a drone mom. And now I'm in this place where I have to let them live their life. I have to let their souls manifest whatever they came here to do. And they can't do that if I'm stepping in the way. So letting go of my kids, I think was my hardest attachment of letting go, but I'm working on that, and it's getting easier. Let's put it like that. But otherwise, I try to look around me and have no be okay. Now I do respect. I'm not saying I disrespect my stuff. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I respect my stuff. I take care of my stuff, but I also have to accept not to attach my emotion to it. Because if I do, every time I lose something, every time I break something, everything something doesn't work out, my emotion, you freak out, you're angry, you're upset, all of these low vibrational energies. We don't want to be in that space. We want to be in control. This is where mind mastery comes. And that happens only when you are able to be in total present awareness, being aware of where you are, what you're doing, and especially what you are thinking. Because the thing we think about most is the stuff we manifest in our life, whether we like it or not. So be very, very aware. So before we go, I want to leave you with an affirmation for the week. So, and our affirmation for this week is Failure is a thing of the past, while winning is the reality of the present and future. And by God presence in my mind. I will repeat that one more time. Failure is a thing of the past, while winning is the reality of the present and future, and by God's presence in my mind. And so it is. What I would like to do is I will put it in the description or so that you can print it up and have it with you and remind yourself to stay in this place. You are a winner. You're always a winner if you believe and follow the process. So before we close, I'm going to say a closing prayer that we can leave at this point. Thank you again for joining us. And again, let's get quiet. Let's bring our breath together. Let's synchronize and get nice and quiet. And let's get our music. Take a deep breath. Let go of all your worries and concerns from last week, of the coming. Just let it go. Just let it release. Peace. Love. Support. Divine Godhead of the universe, at the center of my mind, your presence is the source of my happiness and continuing my positive attitude and it is through your transformative that all dark shadows are removed from my mind thinks clearly in the infinite light of your presence. Myself is founded upon and moved by your presence within me every day of my life. Gratitude is one unwavering dependence, as your presence within me is with me eternally. Nothing